Alright, so I'm just going to make it a new tradition that every single time we get one of the new out of position sets, I'm going to go ahead and re-rank all of the best tall PGs so you guys know what is going on. And this time we got a little bit different than all the previous versions of it. Sorry if you had a little bit of clicking. I'm realizing that that one is severely off center and it tilted me. So we've gone through and re-ranked kind of how the lists are going to be looking like. So we have at the top, which are the best of the best. I took the PGs that I think there's 6 up in this best of the best tier, where everybody in here, I think, is just an absolute demon. You pick them up if you can. They're just amazing. Like, they are the top PGs. Then we have guys who are next-gen demons. These are guys that obviously maybe have, you know, a Hall of Fame blinders or something like that. Maybe they're only able to curvy slide and have the good animations on next-gen. We got the guys who are current-gen demons. These are the guys without steady shooter, are, you know, under that 6'9" frame and under the 244 pounds, so they can still curvy slide and are good on current-gen. Then we have some solid but not too insane cards. They're, you know, they're okay. You could run them if you want to. You have a little bit of fun, some spicy picks, but nothing crazy. And then we have they're here only for being tall. These are the bums that are just, you know, they're tall. So I had them in the last tier list, and I'm kind of just like throwing them all in one because there's just really no point in using them. So that's the 2 that I'm going to show you guys first. Make sure you like the video if that's helpful, and subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. But anyway, I'll show you guys the first list, which is the here for only being tall, where we have the Diamond Reggie Theus, Galaxy LeBron James, the Sapphire Ben Simmons. I still don't know why we have this one. Amethyst Joakim Noah, the Ruby Isaac Bonga, Pink Diamond Ben Simmons, Galaxy Ron Harper, and the wonderful Diamond Spencer Dinwiddie. All these guys are cool, but I don't really know. I don't think anybody is really seriously considering using a lot of these squads. They're kind of just like in 2K because they're in 2K, and because they were feeling a little bit spicy and decided that they were going to just do what they did. So I don't really recommend running any of these guys. If you do and you have fun with it, like, that's great. You know, have fun with a game and do what you want to do. But personally, I would not recommend running any of these guys unless you absolutely have to. So starting off next, we do have the solid but not insane tier. And I'm thinking this one I'm also just going to show you guys all at once, just not to waste any time. Where we have Diamond Vlade Divac, who literally I think is only as good as he is because he's tall. I much prefer him as a small forward. I think that's really where his position's going to be amazing. Pink Diamond Lonzo Ball, just, I don't know, we have the Opal, so why really worry about the Pink Diamond. Galaxy Ball Magic Johnson, again, I think he's good, only has the quick release timing though, so I'm not really feeling him. Frank Ntilikina, again, really good defender, all around a pretty solid card, but has jump shot 4 on quick, and I'm just not really feeling it, not something that I'm looking to really run right now. Kevin Porter Jr. and J.R. Smith, both the same card, jump shot 49, curvy sliding, and it's only on quick, and I wish that it was on very quick. I think if they did, they could actually be moved up into Porter being a current gen demon and JR into a next gen demon, but I think there's just, I don't know, the jumper's a little bit too slow for my liking. I wish it was just, again, on that very quick timing. I still don't know why we did it, but they're one of the like 3 or 4 dark matters that don't have a very quick timing. It's a little bit upsetting. Justice Winslow is a great diamond. He's probably positioned small forward but can play the point guard, and he's a really fun card. He's great. More of a like defender, I think, running at the point guard just to have some fun that way. Still is a good slasher and can still shoot pretty well, got a decent jumper, but he is a diamond, so doesn't have the most stats and badges to really help him out, but he still is pretty fun and he's pretty nice all around. Michael Carter-Williams is a guy that we recently did a gameplay with, one that I really have a lot of fun with and I absolutely enjoy. I think he's fun. I think he's cool. He's a Syracuse guy, so I absolutely love him. He's 6'6", and he's got some pretty nice animations. You know, that Jason Richardson, Moses Malone jumper. It's pretty nice, and he's a good card all around. I'm just personally not a huge fan, but he can be cool. And last but not least is a card that I've never really been high on in the Galaxy Elbow Chris Webber. Just not really a card that suits me personally. I know that the Kemba Walker jumper is one of the best jumpers on next gen, but for some reason I just don't feel like it's too great. Not one that I personally like, and if you have fun with it, that's cool, but not everybody likes the same jumpers. It is what it is, and I just don't love his animations as a point guard. It's just personally not my cup of tea. So now we're starting off the current gen demons tier. These are guys that obviously, if you're on current gen, you're going to want to use, and I figured this would be pretty helpful. Plus I have some recommendations out of all of them to help you out maybe a little bit later, but I felt like this kind of breaking it up of the list would be pretty nice for, I guess, most people involved. We're starting off with Dark Matter Kobe Bryant. One of the few cards that has a quick release timing that I don't actually mind is this Dark Matter Kobe. I think just because the Kobe Bryant base is so good, plus he's a 6'6" guy that can literally do everything, and I mean, it's Kobe, so why wouldn't you want him on your team? Which is a good all-around card. I would say there definitely are some better current gen options, but Kobe still is one of the best, I think, out there. And again, it's Kobe, man. Next up is the wonderful Dark Matter Grant Hill, who I know has Jump Shot 1 and not too many people are a massive fan of it, but it's actually not a bad jumper when it's on very quick like he has. Plus, Grant Hill is just super shifty and super nice. He's a great defender, and I love his ability to just attack the basket and be super cheesy inside. It's crazy. The amount of weird-ass layups that this Grant Hill has hit on me is out of this world, and it's a little bit annoying, but it's great for him. Next up is the wonderful Quantum Luka Doncic, who's a card that kind of got ranked here because he's, 6'7", so he can cover slide, do all the great animations, and has a good jumper on quick on current gen. Not one of the top tier PGs anymore, but I think if you're still on current gen, you still have this Luka as your best option. You don't want to spend any MT. It really can be a great card to still run and still have some fun with. Because let's be honest, this Luka can still cook if you know what you're doing. So big W's to anybody still using him. So he's still a fun guy. But obviously a lot of us are hunting for that invincible level 40. Next up is the wonderful Galaxy Opal Penny Hardaway, who is not a PG that you want to use if you're into off-ball because the defensive tendencies are absolutely horrible. But jump shot 75 is great. He's 6'7". He has good defense if you're playing it yourself, not off-balling. Finishing is going to be great. Obviously, it's Penny Hardaway. That's what he's known for. But still can go out there, shoot the lights out, and be really, really great all around. Just a super fun PG. And again, no steady, no nothing like that. Can still curry, all that sort of stuff on current gen. So he's still great. Next up is the wonderful Manu Ginobili, who's just a step up from this Luka. 1 inch shorter, but has the XM base on very quick. Pretty good defense. I do think he lacks, though, in interior. I've used this Manu Ginobili quite a lot on next gen, and I've just struggled to guard, the Ben Simmons and the things like that that are running around. But I think if you can find a way to switch matchups and avoid that, maybe put him on the 2 guard unless it's like Manu Bol, you still can have some fun with this Manu, and he can still be a great card, especially on current gen, because again, no steady. He's 6'6", so he can curry slide normal. Just a great all-around PG, and he's free, so you gotta love that a little bit too. Next up is one of the new Dark Matter PGs that we got in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who is actually a great card. Has jump shot 91, which is kind of his signature jumper, the one that he's had all year. So if you use the diamond, you've used the Dark Matter. But they absolutely juiced up the defense, man. He has a 92 interior, 97 perimeter, which is great. His jumper is absolutely money. The finishing is amazing, and I think the Shai all around just plays really great. And he's 6'6". So normal PG height and can still curry, do all that sort of stuff. No steady, and I think he's just a great option on current gen if you have the MT. Pretty expensive because guys like HTB and them have hyped it up a little bit. So you do have to watch out for that. But he is hyped up for good reason. He's an amazing point guard. Next up is the wonderful Galaxy Opal Lonzo Ball, who I've had a lot of people use on current gen and tell me that they absolutely love, just because the new Lonzo jumper, the old Lonzo jumper that they switched to it, making it feel like it's new, I guess, is one of the easiest to time and easiest to green in the game. And Lonzo Ball, the defense is absolutely insane, and he just has that ability to lock down just better than other people. I don't know what it is, but it's the intangibles, man. That's something that Lonzo Ball gives that just not everybody else really does, and it's great, and I absolutely love him. Next up is the wonderful Big Tubby in Amethyst Boris Diaw, one of my favorite cards to run, no cap, really, in the entire game. Seriously, one of my favorite guys, even on next gen, which is great. But he's 6'8", so again, just barely under that height and 230 pounds, so he can still curry. He has that Delino Gallinari base on very quick, which is amazing. He can curry slide, has that pro 3 behind the back, no steady, and has, I think, all but 4 badges on current gen, which is crazy. And he's missing ones that you don't even really care about. He's missing steady, post spin, defensive leader. You've got other guys for that on the team, so he's just absolutely amazing. And if you're on a hyper budget, we're talking, you only have 10k MT to your name and you need a good PG, this is the way to go for sure. Boris Diaw, an absolute demon. And I know some people who on their God squads are still using this Boris because he's just that good, man. Next up is a surprise to me as well as many other people in Dark Matter Draymond Green. And let me tell you, he is super cheap right now. I think you can get this Draymond for around 70 to 80k, which by Dark Matter standards is a pretty cheap card, but I think overall not the most cheap. But either way, I still don't understand why we have a PG Draymond Green, but I'm not going to complain about it. He's a 6'7" point guard, so obviously he can still curry, and he's 230 pounds, and he has 53 Hall of Fame badges, man. Every single defensive badge besides Lightning Reflexes, which he has on gold, is Hall of Fame for this Draymond. So the defense is going to be prime. He has 97 interior perimeter, lateral quickness, pass perception is a 98, help defense is a 98. He's got amazing dunking. His shooting is actually on par with some of the best in the game. He's got jump shot 12 on very quick, which is actually solid, and that shifty dribble style is going to be great. I think this Draymond is kind of, flew under the radar because, it's a Draymond card. Who's getting too excited about Draymond Green? But I think if you actually sit back and look at it, this card is actually kind of insane and is one of those, again, really slept on demons that not too many people know about. And he's a dark matter that's free, so if you are somebody who really cares about overall, he can be a fun one for you to have on the squad. So try him out, man. You actually will be surprised with him. And I've done a gameplay if you want to check him out before actually using him. Next up is the wonderful Galaxy Opal Josh Smith. Still one of my favorite point guards in the entire game. Who wasn't a PG to run. This Galaxy Opal Josh Smith is just great. If you've liked John Wall cards in the past, use this Josh Smith. I don't know why the dark matter John Wall is so much more expensive than Josh Smith, but Smith is better, man. He's 6'9", has the John Wall base on very quick. He's actually a lefty, which is kind of cool. And as you would expect with Josh Smith, the thing that we always get with him is he's a two-way slasher that is absolutely godly, but the shooting is still juiced up. So you still get that amazing finishing, that awesome defense, and then mix it with a great, super consistent jumper, a lefty, which is always, for some reason, for me personally, easier to time. And it's just great, and it's fun all around. So I seriously highly recommend this Galaxy Opal Josh Smith for anybody on current gen, which we'll get into a little bit later. Next up is the wonderful Invincible Michael Jordan, who I wanted to throw in the current gen demons, just because if you actually go and look at this wonderful Invincible Jordan, he's a nice 6'6", basically PG, with a 6'11" wingspan. He's obviously got a low enough weight to go out there and compete, and he has literally almost 99 in every single stat, besides shot IQ and intangibles, which I don't understand why we lowered them on an Invincible card, but I digress. No steady shooter, so everybody's going to be looking great. He's got a nice jumper in that MJ base on very quick, the only card in the game with that. Can cover slide and get shifty with it and just have some fun. This MJ card is an absolute demon. He's super fun, he's super nice. I think anybody would be lucky to have him on the squad. But I want to use him on next gen because there's so many better options. Next up is Tyreke Evans. I guess the last card on the list is Tyreke Evans for the current gen demons here. But he's just absolutely insane, man. We're talking about a Kobe Bryant base on very quick, with literally all of the best dribbling animations in the entire game. So if you're somebody that likes to get out there and get cheesy and have some fun, this Tyreke Evans is the man for that. Let me tell you, I've had some people absolutely cook my ankles on there. And it hurts. I'm not gonna lie, it hurts. But he's still a great card and he's super fun. If you wanted to try out the Galaxy Opal West Untitled, who we'll see a little bit later on the list, but for free, and I guess the current gen version, Tyreke Evans is definitely the way to go. Just a real fun all-around card. And again, he's kind of like the better version of this Dark Matter Kobe. So that's where we end off on our current gen tier list, or tier, I guess. And next up, we have the wonderful next gen demon tier, where we're starting off with the wonderful, the beautiful, the gorgeous, luscious locks of Larry Bird, who is an absolutely amazing card. Got a slightly slow release with that Larry Bird jumper, as you would expect, but he's a 6'9" guy who has just all around amazing kind of stats that he's juiced up to have some fun out there in it. I mean, I absolutely love him. I think he's a great card. I've done a gameplay on him as well, but he does have Hall of Fame steady, and I don't think he can curry slide on current gen because he's 6'9". So it's a little tough for the current gen people, but if you're on next gen, this Larry Bird is actually a super solid card. You just kind of got to get used to the fact that he has a slightly slower release, and he's going to be an absolute beast. Next up is the wonderful Nicholas Batum. Nick Batum, the DBG god out there, and I absolutely love him, man. We got, obviously, Hall of Fame steady, so he's going to be leaning more towards that next-gen style. Got jump shot 40, which is going to be great. May have already said it, but whatever. And because he is a primary position center, his interior defense, rebounding, all that sort of stuff is absolutely insane and really helps him be, in my opinion, one of the best PGs you can actually pick up. And for a pink diamond, I think has all but 3 badges in finishing, and then all but 1 badge in shooting, which is Fade Ace, and who really cares about that? Just an absolutely amazing card, who, if it weren't for a new card that dropped yesterday, I would have still been using as my point guard, because he's absolutely amazing on the defensive end. Next up is a card that a lot of people are sleeping on, another one of those Dark Matters you can pick up for stupid cheap, and it is Dark Matter DeMarcus Cousins. And I think the reason is DeMarcus Cousins is definitely a next-gen card through and through, so not too many people are excited about picking him up on current, which is lowering the price. But he's a 6'10" point guard with a 7'5" wingspan, and he's got a small forward secondary position, which he is top tier at. If you look at him, I mean, everything on this card is absolutely insane. I don't know why he didn't get steady, because he can't even really do anything on current gen that well. But I mean, the defense by a guy that is a center is just absolutely amazing. He's basically like an upgrade to Batum. He's got set shot 8 on very quick, which is that normal DeMarcus Cousins jumper, and can curry, shifty dribble style, everything like that. Or sorry, he can't curry on next gen, but he still is 6'10" and just an absolutely amazing card all around. If you like those just super tall, super cheesy guys, DeMarcus Cousins is kind of the way to go, and it's just really fun all around. I've had a blast actually using him, which is great. Next up is the wonderful Obi Toppin, who is just the next-gen alternative to Penny Hardaway in the fact that he's 2 inches taller at 6'9", so he can't curry on current, but he can on next-gen, and it just makes him really great. Obi Toppin is a slasher if you've ever seen one, but jump shot 75 is a pretty smooth, consistent, easy to just kind of go with the flow kind of jumper, and I think it's actually pretty fun, and it's just nice all around. Obi Toppin, if you're a Knicks fan, is definitely the point guard that I'd go with, but in my opinion, there are some better options than him, but I could see why you'd want to run him. Next up is a card that I'm actually grinding the XP challenges for while I was making the tier list, and it is Chandler Parsons, who is surprisingly good, man. A 6'10" primary position center. He's kind of the Nick Batum of out of position 3, which is great, and he's just absolutely amazing because we're talking about that 6'10" frame, so he can curry slide on next, but not on current, which is obviously tough for some current gen people. He does come with Hall of Fame steady as well, so they're really just driving home the fact that he's for next gen, but the defense is great, and again, he's 6'10". He's got jump shot 36 on very quick, which is the Walt Frazier, Channing Frye kind of jumper. You probably haven't used it too often, but it's money, let me tell you that. Curry slide, shifty, pro 3, all that wonderful stuff. The defense is absolutely juiced. He can rebound well, and just a great card all around. If you're seeing a lot of these out of position cards and you see primary position center with a secondary position point guard, they're going to be amazing because they're always juiced up on that defensive end, and you absolutely love to see it, especially that boosted interior. Next up is the wonderful Dark Matter Lamar Odom, who is an absolutely amazing card. 6'10", 6'11" wingspan. He's 230 pounds, so he can still curry slide and do all that sort of stuff. And he's basically a point guard version of Paul George, which is great, man. He's got the PG jumper on very quick. He's got that curry slide and all that. Actually, if you had to compare it, it would be if you took Ja Morant and made him 6'10". That is what this Lamar Odom is, and it is absolutely godly. Again, you can't understate how great it is to have a guy who is 6'10" playing that point guard position. It's just absolutely amazing in this Lamar Odom. I think we're going to see as a point guard endgame every single year for the future of 2K, which I guess isn't too much of a problem because I love Lamar Odom cards. Next up is two cards that I kind of view as the same in Pink Diamond Zion Williamson and Galaxy Opal Wes Unseld, and that's because they are both Kobe Bryant based cards. It's just that our wonderful friend Zion has it on quick, not very quick, which is, not bad. Not bad. Zion's actually a pretty solid all-around card if you're looking for a good, just like as locker code card that can be some fun. He does have the curry slide and stuff like that, but the problem is with both of these guys is Zion's 6'6", so he can curry on next gen, but he's 285 pounds, so he breaks the weight limit when it comes to current. And Wes Unseld is 6'7", so he can curry on next, but he is 285 pounds, so he breaks the weight barrier again, which is a little bit tough. So it makes them more of next gen cards, but you mix that Kobe Bryant base with absolutely amazing just all around stats. Wes Unseld is definitely the way to go on this. I did a gameplay with him yesterday. He is so fun, so all around good, and pretty cheap in Wes. Zion's free. I just think they're both all around amazing cards, and they're basically the next gen equivalent of this Dark Matter Kobe, which is again an absolutely amazing card. Next up is the wonderful, the beautiful Pink Diamond Denny Avdija. It's probably Avdija. I apologize, but Denny is one of my favorite cards to run and is now my starting point guard on next gen, and I have no doubts. I absolutely love this guy. Seriously, is one of my favorite cards to just run in the entire game. I mean, he gives me every single thing that I possibly could need, and he's just so fun. He's just so fun. But the reason is 6'9", so obviously we can still do all that cheesy stuff on next gen. 6'10" wingspan. We have amazing defense. The playmaking is godly. The shooting is great, but he has jump shot 3 on very quick, which is ranked as like the second or third best jumper in the game. by like 2K Lab and all that. And let me tell you, it is amazing. It's the next gen version of base 98, and it is absolutely insane. It makes his Denny unable to miss threes. I've just been running through some triple threat, and it's probably the easiest time I've ever had because you cannot leave him open or it's an absolute bucket. I love this Denny, and he's like one of those super cheap like 15K cards. Absolutely love it. Bang for your buck is insane on this one. And last but not least is the wonderful Dark Matter Magic Johnson, who I didn't realize couldn't curry slide until actually going through and looking at it. So I apologize for everybody on current that can't use Magic. Kind of annoying because of that curry slide. But, I mean, it's Magic. 6'9". You expect the defense to be great and just all-around ability with Magic. And he can curry the post-stick cheese, all that stuff. It's annoying, but you gotta admit it's good. So, there it is. And last but not least, we have our best of the best, starting off with Invincible Luka Doncic, a card who I think is one of the top 2 to 3 PGs on both gens. And if you were, I guess if you were to consider both gens, I think he's the only card actually that is good on both gens in this entire best of the best. You know what? We'll call Luka the #1 PG because he's good on both gens. The Dante X and base, I'm very quick, literally almost 99 in every single stat. It doesn't get better than that. Luka Doncic is absolutely amazing, and I highly recommend him grinded for on literally anybody that possibly can. This guy is a absolute demon. He is amazing, and you need to try him out because, I mean, like, why wouldn't you? Next up is the Invincible Magic Johnson. Obviously, if the wonderful Dark Matter was over here, the Invincible Magic Johnson has to be ranked even higher. He's just absolutely amazing. One of those guys that you really just want on your team all the time because he is literally that good. I mean, 6'9" PG, 99 every single stat, amazing Hall of Fame badges. Obviously, he's up there. Next up is who I consider to be the best point guard in the entire game, which is Galaxy Dark Matter KIRILENKO. 6'9", 7'4" wingspan, jump shot 98 on very quick, the shifty dribble style, the curvy slide, the pro 3 behind the back, every single defensive Hall of Fame badge in the game. Like, it doesn't get better than that. Has, you know, all the wonderful shooting badges. I think he also is not having blinders, so he's kind of good there. But if you actually go and look at his defense, he has 99 in every single defensive stat besides interior, which is a 98. And it's just absolutely insane, and obviously the best tendencies in the entire game. KIRILENKO is an absolute demon. Next up is obviously PG LeBron James. If you thought LeBron was good as a small forward, just imagine him as a point guard with an even better release like he has on next gen. It's absolutely great, amazing card, all-around ability is just there, and you would expect it. LeBron is going to be a good point guard. That's just how it is. Next up is the wonderful Dark Matter Ben Simmons. I mean, we all kind of know it at this point. Ben Simmons was the top #1 PG in the entire game until I think AK and Luka came around. Now I'd probably put him at 3, you know, AK, Luka, Ben, kind of that sort of deal. But still absolutely amazing and a top tier PG. And last but not least is going to be Giannis, who I actually forgot. Actually probably is like the second best. I think we'll go AK, Giannis, Luka, Ben, if I had to rank him. But Giannis is obviously one of the best point guards of the entire game. If you can't even really argue it, man. He's 6'11", which is obviously absolutely insane. Then you give him the ability to curry slide, have a 7'4" wingspan, play literally all of the most insane defense you could possibly imagine. You gave him gold range of all things, and we know that the taller the player is, the actual faster that he runs. So giving Giannis a 97 speed is absolutely insane. Luckily, I have not run against too many Giannis's and unlimited and limited, but I fear the day that I have to because this card is brokenly good. So that's kind of topping it off for my tall PGs tier list. Again, I think I'm going to do one of these every single time we get some out of position cards because obviously I understand that it can get a little bit confusing with how everything's ranked with how it's going. So I'm going to try to give you guys these lists as frequently as I can just to keep constantly ranking everything and help you guys out. But I do have one more section actually of the video that I do want to cover just to give you guys a little bit of a, I guess, tip. So I've gone ahead and I've compiled 4 different pictures to give you guys a personal recommendation that I would give. So the first one I have on the screen right now is our next gen big baller recommendation, which is going to be Dark Matter KIRILENKO. If you got the MT and you can go for it, I recommend you pick up this AK-47 because you got base 98, one of the fastest jumpers in the game with one of the biggest green windows in the game and all the most amazing animations, every single defensive badge Hall of Fame. It doesn't get better than that. If you're on current gen and you're a big baller, go for Michael Jordan, man. The Invincible MJ, I think, is probably the best bang for your buck. He's going to be super expensive, obviously, but you're a big baller. You can afford it, and you can have some fun. 99 on every single stat, he's going to be amazing. I do think that you should use this MJ until you get up to Invincible Luka, and then just go that way. But if you're actually going for the auction house, I think the best bang for your buck is going to be Michael Jordan. So, for our next gen budget guy, my recommendation is going to be the man, the myth, the legend, Denny Avdia, right here. My next gen big budget recommendation is Denny. He just does everything super well for you. He's just one of those guys that is absolutely amazing. Like I said, in my opinion, the best jumper on next gen jump shot 3. It's just amazing. You put it on very quick and he's going to be great. Again, he is my starting PG. I'm going to be using him until out of position 4 most likely. And I just absolutely love him. Is definitely my recommendation here. And last but not least, our current gen big budget recommendation is going to be Galaxy Opal Josh Smith. Again, he's a super cheap, super nice card that just does everything well. It's a 6'9" jump wall, and it really doesn't get better than that. I would highly recommend Josh Smith to anybody that needs a little bit of love in their life. So hopefully these little recommendations help you out, and you can have a fun time out there on these My Team streets. If you have a different recommendation, let me know it down in the comments. Open to seeing what you guys have to say. Like the video if you did enjoy or just found it informative. Subscribe if you are new to the channel, and comment what you guys personally think of the tier list. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.